Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the heck in the world you are. It's the one and only notorious, glorious V, the Gorilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man, El Gustavo, Gus Demos. He's here from perpetualassets.com. Folks, if you are terrified, if you're huddling in a corner somewhere, you're about to reach for that can of cat food to head down into your bunker and bracing yourself for financial ruin and or the end of the world as you know it. Before you do any of that, contact Gus Demos and his crazy infidel partner named Will Lear. These guys will tell you exactly what you need to do to take back the reins of control of your financial future into your hands. With their self-directed IRA, they will show you exactly how you can go ahead and, using this self-directed IRA, move your 401k, which you are fearfully wondering if it ever will be a 101k, and get it into the type of investments that you like, whether it's cryptos, precious metals, gold, real estate, whatever the heck it is you want to do. Let this be the vehicle for you. Contact perpetualassets.com. Talk to either Gus Demos or Will Lear, the crazy infidel. And with that being said, Gus, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Dude, I have to fucking incorporate infidel into my daily vernacular.
You should, man. I think it's one of the greatest words. When you mention lefties at a San Diego bar, they go crazy. They'll start calling you racist and whatnot.
Infidel's fucking great, dude. Well, that right before that's why I sent you that. That's why I sent you that fucking link. There was and I know we haven't been live in weeks, obviously, because of conflicting schedules. But like I saw that story today, the crazy Asian woman at the New York Times, and I was like, Jesus Christ, dude! Can you imagine like someone on the right saying this about like Muslims? Like I see Muslims and I want like you joke around. We could joke around about extremists, that they're dangerous and this and that, but it's like when someone like this is why Trump won.
Oh yeah.
Like you see something mainstream like that, where the New York Times hires someone who on her Twitter feed is just like, I think I could pull up the link, but I think she's like, the joy I take out of harming old white men is so like an evil, like you'd think she was like a serial killer or something, talking about killing whitey. And the fact
what is up with this crazy ass Korean girl?
Dude, it's fucking they're losing their marbles, dude. Like straight up. And it's almost like incredible to watch. Like we live in times where I don't know if at any point in human history you could go to any country, and tell me if I'm wrong. You could go to any country in human history, and there's an ideology in that country that wants the majority population to hate themselves, like loathe. Can you imagine today going to Japan as an American and being like, yeah, you guys you guys are all evil fuckers, go kill yourself. Like it's fucking, and like the left tries to make this like mainstream, and some pathetic spineless pansies actually like accept it. Like, can you imagine going to any country? Dude, pick any country you want. Go to Saudi Arabia, Russia, Japan, go to Brazil, go to any country in the world and try convincing the majority population that, hey, let's make it super trendy to hate yourselves. I mean, they're openly racist as fuck. And I mean, to take an entire race and just try to make it cool to, they don't even hide it. I mean, substitute any other gender and any other race, substitute it with what this bitch was saying, and imagine how that would go.
Oh yeah, substitute black for white, substitute Hispanic for white, substitute anything. People will be in an absolute uproar.
And substitute men for women.
Yeah.
If you
or gays or anything else for that matter,
Yeah, well, they are like open, like they're like authoritarian, racist Bolsheviks. It's the most fucked up thing to watch. Like, yeah. It's almost like there's no sense of individualism. Like, there's no sense of this person's okay. Like, I'm not going to judge anyone until I meet them. There's no sense of logic. There's no sense of reason. It's more like this, being a straight white guy, a Christian, especially a Christian straight white guy, is the most, 40%, 30% of the country thinks it's openly trendy and cool and okay to hate, stereotype, and totally be fucking racist towards that demographic and group. It's incredible. It's really fucking incredible. Only because, like, if again, it's absurd to me that you would stereotype, and then the amazing thing is the hypocrisy and the paradox that if any Archie Bunker type stereotypes any other group, they freak the fuck out. Like, you're Hitler. How dare you make a Muslim joke? Blah, blah, blah. It's fucking incredible, dude. It's incredible.
It really is, man.
But they're not known for logic or reason or freedom or liberty or any of that. Or I mean, it's fucking crazy. But this is why this is why we're winning, I guess. It's fun to watch it unravel. It's fun to you guys have obviously been keeping tab of all the shit with the Mueller investigation and the redacted doc. I mean, because I've obviously been following it too, despite being chaotic with work. But they're in full, like, retreat, pathetic mode. Like, I mean, so I don't know how we would categorize this other than, hey, maybe people have woken up to this shit, and it's, we're over it. It's behind us. But I don't know. I mean, how do you see the midterms playing out? How do you see 2018 playing out?
2018 is going to be a sweep.
You think?
People talking about the blue wave, man. I see the blue drizzle. That's what I see. And on top of that, it's the derangement that's out there. It's gone viral, man. I love how. Did you see, like, after the Florida rally, there were over like 50 some odd hit pieces that the mainstream media was doing about QAnon. They're like, who is Q? What is this conspiracy?
Yeah. I saw that. It actually came up. It got so much traffic. I saw it come up on my Google feed.
Yep.
So Google only tries brainwashing me with 5 or 6 stories a day on my phone feed. That was one of them. Uh-huh. Like, so that's the amount of traffic and effort they're putting towards this.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And the same thing applies here. It's just they're trying. They are literally losing it. They're asking Sarah Huckabee Sanders, hey, who's QAnon? What's going on there? Is the president behind it? It's hilarious. I mean, they've literally have lost their minds. Now, what they've done, the idiots on the left and the mainstream media, now they're drawing more attention. Guess what? To who?
To Q. It's free. It's free publicity. Yeah, just like they did with Trump 2 years ago.
Exactly. Yes. And they keep falling for it over and over and over and over again. When will they learn?
I think what's happened is, and tell me if you disagree or this sounds insane, I think they've lost normal people. Yeah. So I think which is why they lost the election, which is why their ratings suck, which is why this and their subscriptions suck and all that. So I think they've lost anyone who has any semblance of normalcy. Yes, but they've really doubled down on brainwashing their core. Oh yeah. So they're that 20%, that 25%, the ones I tell you stories about that'll explode on you in restaurants if they hear you say "boo" in a joke. Like that core is really dug in the sand, like heels in the sand. Like so I think they further have just have these mindless fucking Bolshevik fucking zombies out there. Yep. But I think I think it's like the top of drugs today. Trump's approval's up to 50%.
I love it,
dude, because it's hard. The shit me and you have been staring at happening in the streets for fucking 2-3 years.
Yeah.
It's hard for people to ignore it anymore. They can only put up so many hoaxes on TV. They can only put on so much bullshit like, oh, these people are just peacefully protesting. Oh, there's Nazis everywhere. Oh, the Klan's taking over the country. Oh, Putin's under your bed. Oh, it's like it's new retarded news every fucking week. Like, and it's actually not new.
On this edition of retarded news,
dude, they have like 4 or 5 stories. It's wash, rinse, repeat on like 5 things. Putin's out to get you. Nazis run this country. The liberals in Hollywood are the intellectual elite. Trust us. Like it's this fucking joke, and it's again, people are fucking just. I think people are just wise to it now. They're like,
oh yeah, man.
I mean, yeah. Well, there was a great debate a couple days ago where the guys. It was actually on CNN or MSNBC, and it was a guy who's like a foreign policy. He's a foreign policy expert. I think he worked in the Reagan White House too. And he's like, you fucking people are trying to criminalize diplomacy.
Yes.
Like you're trying to make it what has been viewed as the last 4,000 years in human history as just diplomacy. You guys are trying to make that seem criminal. And again, I think people see it. I mean, but they're that 20%, dude, that I mentioned, that 30%, whatever the number really is, those are dangerous people. They're like really, I mean, and the amount of them is like they're just dangerous. They have nothing to lose. They have nothing to really live for. That's what makes them dangerous. The fact that they're like all like bottom feeding, basement dwelling fucking losers. That's what makes them dangerous. They don't have retirement accounts. They have a bunch of debt. They live with mom and dad. Like they have a useless fucking degree, and they're raging.
How dare you call my gay art therapy degree useless?
Let's overthrow the Nazis by destroying private property in the street, dude. And that's what you're dealing with. It's like, yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna let's crush this store owner's fucking shop. He's, and then you find out that happened last week in Los Angeles. It was a fucking Israeli immigrant. They went out and destroyed an Israeli immigrant's fucking shop, boycotted it, vandalized it, blah blah blah.
Why?
For his political beliefs, because he supported Trump. It was like I forgot what neighborhood it was in LA. But the guy's an immigrant. He's an Israeli immigrant, and they fucking attacked. Like the Bolsheviks fucking destroyed him.
Kill the fascists,
dude. They're nuts.
They're nuts.
They're like criminals, and they're nuts. Mm-hmm. Again, that's what made. So I'll bust balls verbally. You'll bust balls verbally, but I'm not out in the streets trying to fucking destroy your shit. No, exactly. Dude, they're criminals. They're like parasitic fucking criminals, and they're just getting worse. But I think again, maybe I think it's minimal. I don't think 45% of the country is that way. I think it's probably closer to 20 or whatever. They're those extreme weird fucks.
And they're energized, man. And the Don Lemonheads and the LaQueen James. You know who LaQueen James is?
No.
You never heard of LaQueen James? He's a basketball player.
Oh,
he usually has cramps around the playoffs.
Yes.
LaQueen just got LaQueen James, ultimate beta male. The symbolism of a man raised by a woman. LaQueen James over here.
The guy. He's LeBron James living. He's somehow mysteriously this country run by a Nazi regime has allowed this guy to become a near billionaire. That's how shitty this country is.
Yeah. LaQueen James is now a political expert. He knows what's going on.
Well, that's one thing
everything is racism. Well, the numbers don't support it.
Well, dude, that's all they have to run on. Like all they have,
and that's why their blue wave is going to be a blue drizzle.
If it was just that, but they don't. It's not that. What happens is and I use that the New York Times, that Asian woman, is the perfect example. It's not that they seep into oppression only, or hey, they're whatever. It's that they also, with that, we need to protect these 186 different groups. Like there's a new oppressed group every fucking week too, by the way. But not only is that all they have to sell, but on top of that, they want whitey to hate themselves. It's like just selling oppression isn't enough. They're also selling self-loathing. Right. Like you need to hate yourself. You need to hate your dad. Yep. You need to hate the fucking church. You need to hate your fucking church. You need to they're like disgusting people.
You should have listened to my morning show this morning, man. I was breaking down the whole South Africa situation, bro.
Oh, there's no way.
It's just only when white people are getting hurt, that's when it's an atrocity, huh? No, it's an atrocity whenever human life is lost. Genocide is genocide, no matter who's doing it, bro.
Well, there's no way the mainstream media would ever report on that.
No, they'll never will because it doesn't fit the agenda. There was an opportunity here for South Africa after the whole apartheid ended, which, apartheid was horrible. Nobody's saying apartheid was great. But when it ended, there was a chance here for a lot of healing, for people to come together, for South Africa. Because, look, here's the thing. The South Africans have, during especially the Cold War years, have developed some advanced technology. They were damn near nuclear capable. I mean, you're talking about there was a potential for South Africa to be an economic rival to that of Germany and or Japan. Can't have it,
bro. What you're seeing in South Africa, what you're seeing in this country, what you're seeing in many other places, all under the collectivist ideology, is an extreme forms of tribalism. That's it, and it's the left. The Bolshevik left, the cultural Marxists, once they realized, again, this is not me saying this. This is the good news is so many people can articulate it properly now. Once they realized they lost the economic argument, follow the Soviet Union, Venezuela, blah, blah. But we've never seen a successful one. And let's cut the bullshit, right?
That's because Gus, my liberal arts professor, told me that socialism never worked because it was never done right.
We needed more of it. Right?
It was attempted 289 times.
Dude, once they lost the means of production argument, once they lost the bourgeoisie argument, they shifted it to tribalism. Yep. That's it. And that's what they've been pushing forever now, for decades. It's tribalism. And the trendy tribal thing right now is kill whitey. I mean, that's their thing. It doesn't matter if it's South America. It doesn't matter if it's in Germany, South Africa, the U.S. The cultural Marxists are basically like, it's all the colonialists. It's all the colonial. The fact that you can't be intellectually honest at all.
I like when people say, you don't understand the horrors of colonialism. And what colonialism does to a people, it keeps them oppressed in a slave-like mentality for hundreds of years. Dude, I'm like, really? How do you explain the booming economic growth in China after they overthrew the British? How do you explain the booming economic growth in Singapore or the booming economic growth in India? How do you explain that? Where's your colonial argument? Hold on, V. My gender studies professor didn't tell me this.
Bro, what percentage of Asians do they say have some genetic link to Genghis Khan? Like he said, they said he fucked. He had like 10,000 offspring or something like that. That might be fictional hyperbole. The point is, I always run to the Mongols as an example. You could easily go to the Egyptians. The fucking Persians. The fact that these fucking cunts have somehow convinced the youth and the Bolsheviks that before Western civilization or without Western civilization, everything else was hunky fucking dory.
It was wonderful.
Dude. Again, it's Christians who are basically responsible for all the atrocities on Earth the last 2,000 years. And it's such like a blatant fucking misinformed lie that I brought up Howard Zinn earlier a couple of weeks ago with you guys, and I was like, that's what's been taking place, and it's not his. It's specifically a people's history of the United States. the cultural Marxists have tried to redefine human history what's occurred on this planet the last 3,000 years. And if you have any real grasp of what's going on, and again, I'll throw out the Greek thing. It's like they don't teach this brainwashing bullshit in Greece, only because we lived on the front lines for the 3,000 years. So like it's hard for a Greek grandfather to let some fucking blue-haired butch tell his grandchildren to hate themselves and the Turks are amazing people. There have been atrocities that every religion, every race, every part of the world have occurred.
Everybody at some point was a slave.
Dude, it has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with economics. It's free fucking labor. That's why. Dude, there's a new Netflix special that just got launched on the rise of Julius Caesar and how Rome exploded and then overtook Greece.
Is that the Roman Empire?
Yeah,
I gotta see it.
Dude, it's just search in Netflix, search Rome, and it's like a six episodes. It's on the rise of Caesar, and it kind of goes into the Roman expansion. The initial Roman Empire was just slavery. I mean it had nothing to do with race. Guess what? No. We conquer your lands. It doesn't matter. It could have been Gaul or Germania or Greece or Egypt. Zero to do with race, dipshits. Zero. Yep. It's we conquered you. You're our bitches now. Period.
That's why it was called the slave trade.
Dude, it's all business. Here's the deal.
You got 389,000 African slaves wound up here in the continental United States. 382,000 or 389,000, excuse me. So less than 400 grand, right? Nobody talks about the 4.2 million that wound up in Brazil.
Dude, it's still going on today.
Yep. You want and Brazil, oh boy.
No, it's still going on today.
Correct.
It's modern day. There is all over the earth, and guess what? Not in the West. It's everywhere else. It's in Africa. It's in the Middle East. There's modern day slavery going on.
Yep.
So you'd rather fight ghosts. You'd rather fight George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. You'd rather bitch about 250 years ago, and then actually say, wait a minute, this is actually going on right now. Yes, it is. It is. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't help your narrative. Correct. To go actually do something internationally and fight current evils and current tyrannies, you'd rather yell about George Washington owning slaves. Yeah. Like that's your grievance. It's like, so did Alexander the Great, so did Julius Caesar, so did Genghis Khan, so did Pharaoh. That's the way things worked on Earth for 4,000 years.
And if you were successful back in those days, irrespective of what color you were, and let's just say you were a successful person, you were very wealthy, and you were a wealthy king in Africa, guess what? And you happen to be black, and you're a wealthy king or wealthy ruler or chieftain in Africa, guess what? You had slaves.
Dude, when tribalism is all they're selling, this is what you get. You get maniacs. You get people who shut down reason, they shut down individualism, they shut it all down. My philosophy has always been simple. I've been around for over 40 years. I have met good people and pieces of shit of every gender, every religion, every race, every sexual preference. Judge people individually. It's not complicated. No. Clean slate. Until you fuck me over, you got a clean slate. Yep. And pay me the same respect. If I fuck you over, great, label me. Until then, fuck off. Yep. Like I don't know you. I never did anything to you. Do I owe you something? Yep. I mean, fuck off. Exactly. It's not complicated. No. But that doesn't help in brainwashing sheep.
No.
That doesn't help in brainwashing basement dwellers. The basement dwellers need a reason they're losers. It can't be the reflection in the mirror. No. It can't be like, hey, I'm a loser because I jerk off all day and fucking watch Rachel Maddow. Like, no, that can't be the reason you're a loser. It's got to be George Washington. That's the reason you're a loser.
That's it. It's systemic racism.
It holds true for it all. Racism. It holds true. It holds true.
LaQueen James, who's worth almost $1 billion. LaQueen James, is telling me about how unfair the system is. LaQueen.
Dude. I don't
The
know.
system's fine. People are individual. Look, you're going to run into people who have their own bigotry, their own prejudices, their own racism. That's unavoidable. It's always going to be like that.
100%.
At the end of history.
100%.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
just like you cannot. Are there bad white people? Yes. But there are also bad Black people. There are also bad brown people. So, are there bad men? Yes. Are there bad women? Yes. Are there bad Christians? Yes. It's stop being a fucking mindless sheep, for fuck's sake. Like there are good and bad amongst all of us. It's clean slate. The minute you pick something up, good or bad, cut them loose or keep them in your life. Again, I can't an ex-girlfriend or two who's fucked me over. I can't go through my life just all women are like this. Like, I
don't want to suck you dry. And
me getting in a couple fights, a couple Black dudes trying to jump me when I'm younger. I can't like go through life hating Black dudes. Like that's me being a fucking idiot. Yeah, exactly. It's wake the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, there are some bad fucking people of every preference. I mean, it's mind-boggling, dude. It's fucking mind-boggling. They're closed-minded fucks. Like, fuck them, dude. Let them go. I don't need. I just don't. You don't need those kind of parasites in your life. Like, just always.
This is why I'm happy that the New York Times is hiring people like this girl. This is why I'm happy that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has unseated a Democrat kingpin here in New York. I'm happy about it. I want more people like them. I want the progressives to really come out of the closet and be like, hey, we're not really progressive. We're actually communists. And just outright say it. Because the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, they put it out there that, they want the centralized control of an economy. And it's pretty funny that you have guys like Bernie Sanders is out there, Gus, and I'm telling everybody that the 1% minus the 3% equals the 99% who has the 5% of 1%.
Well, I think you're spot on. Man, right? I think they were able. All this shit we're seeing now, dude. It doesn't matter if it's this New York Times bitch or the commie New York girl. I think this was going on all along, and they've been so triggered in mass hysteria the last 18 months, 2 years, that now we're just seeing their true colors come through.
Oh yeah.
Like actually, they want us all in ovens.
Absolutely. Irrespective of your race, if you are a free market loving or libertarian, you're a dead man.
Yeah, I think you've been saying this forever, and I should have stole your quote because it's so fucking true. They could live in our utopia, we could not live in theirs.
And that's the problem.
That is we are so leave you alone. If you're do whatever you want economically, do whatever you want socially, you are none of my business. Leave you alone. They could totally exist in our world. Yeah. We cannot exist in theirs.
Correct.
Like you want to be left alone economically and socially. You don't hate yourself. You won't let me steal 90% of your money. That's unacceptable. Like they're authoritarians, dude. That's their shit. Like they can't be parasites. Need a healthy host. They need someone to fuck over. They can't fuck over air.
No.
It was a fucking very, very well had quote you had, and I should have been using it longer. We cannot exist in their utopia.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, we can't live in their world. They can live in our world with our worldview, but we can't live in theirs. That right there is the clincher.
That's the pisser. If you're freedom loving, if you want to control your own destiny, that does not fit into their narrative. Their narrative of equal. It's not equality of opportunity they're looking for. It's equality of outcome. That is the problem. They want to say, if I'm willing to work 18 hours a day and beat out someone who wants to jerk off and only work 2, there's some hidden conspiracy behind that. In straight economic terms, not only can you not control production variables, you cannot control consumption variables either. Different people want to consume at different levels. Different people produce at different levels. That is freedom. That is
where you're wrong. A centralized planning compartment, Gus,
Well,
that is run by technocrats.
That's why I often like have to like joke about it with when you really meet one that wants to hunker down and like get in your face, and you're like, let me ask you a question, dude. Do you think there's a conspiracy to keep women out of Stanford Medical School? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's some people. It's not only the genetic lottery, but some people are born taller or faster or smarter, whatever. Not only is genetics, but there's psychological things too. The nature of nurture argument. It's like, what is your work ethic? What kind of culture and environment were you? Dude, I was raised around all sorts of people, all sorts of ethnicities, all sorts of cultures, all sorts of immigrant classes. I'd walk into a Jewish friend's house or a Korean friend's house. There were no fucking like nonstop 12 hours of ball scratching and watching sports on TV. Yeah. It was like that. Those cultures pound nuclear family. They pound homework. That's the culture. That's the environment. And then you pull up, oh, what are the per capita most successful people in the country? Oh, look, it's those same fucking cultures.
Yep. Indians, Asians, Jews, and then there's a conspiracy.
Dude, they pull up, dude, Google Harvard versus MIT math. Google Harvard MIT math tournament. See what pops up. It's a bunch of fucking Indians and Persians and Asians. It's not a conspiracy. The culture, there's either a cultural component, a nurturing component, a genetic component, all the above. Yep. But as a child, I remember those households very well because there were different types of households. Some houses we'd go into and we knew it was chaos and sports, and those were the good time houses. Cool. Those kids didn't go to med school.
No.
The other houses we'd visit, okay, we didn't get to party there, but those are the current dudes performing open heart surgery. Like, it's not a conspiracy. The Nazis didn't decide that, shockingly. It was actually,
that's because the racist system of the white man decided that. That's why the white man put those Asians. Here's people always talk about white privilege, and I can say this because I'm not white. That's what's so liberating about this whole thing. I ain't black, I ain't white, I'm somehow in between. So check this out. White privilege. Gus, do you know what the average white dude who graduated college, you know what his per capita income is, man?
I would probably guess $60K or something.
Yeah, very good. $64,000.
Yeah.
The average Indian and or Korean, guess what their income is?
I would say probably close to 80 or something.
Very good, man. Yeah. $101,000.
Yeah. The problem is they don't have the balls, and they never will, to have some really, really uncomfortable situations about single motherhood, about culture.
Yep.
They don't want to have those really uncomfortable conversations because it's not empowering. They've been ramming for 50 years. Mm-hmm. They've been ramming the power of women, the power of single motherhood. Yeah, it's such a good thing. She's such a powerful woman. She had 3 kids and kicked guys to the curb.
Five kids from 10 different baby daddies.
Culture. They don't want to acknowledge that. Hey, there's a chance a dad is better at being a dad than the government is.
Hell yeah.
They don't want to have that conversation because it would give men kudos, and they hate giving men kudos. Yep. I think Shapiro laid it out best. It's like there are three variables to if you don't want to end up in poverty in this country. It's like don't have kids before high school. Finish high school.
Finish high school. Don't have kids out of wedlock.
Yes. Yes, correct. That's it. It's not complicated. It's not a quantum mechanics equation. It's pretty simple. Just follow those 3 things. But they cannot look at people, voters, and say, hey, dude, having kids out of wedlock, not a good idea. Divorce, not a good idea. Like,
it's instant poverty, man. That's what most people they watch the fake housewives or the house whores of Beverly Hills or New York or whatnot, and they think that's what I'll do. I'll just dude, every single one of those women are a meme. They're a parody. It's a joke, and
That's not real life.
It's not real life. They're all a bunch of washed up plastic surgery junkies who are just idiots. They have no marketable skills, and they're all washed up. They're miserable. They're absolutely miserable. You don't want to wind up like that. And they don't realize that divorce it's instantaneous poverty, for the woman. And here's the deal. This is something that people don't want to discuss. What is the main thing that poverty-stricken areas of New York, New York City, Chicago, LA, Houston, Baltimore, Detroit. What do those 5 cities that I just mentioned, what do they have in common amongst the absolute abject poor that are in there and the most crime-ridden areas? What do they got in common? They got 2 things in common, man.
I would say single motherhood.
Bingo. What else?
100%. And I would.
What? Gus, you got cut out. What'd you say? Gus? Gustavo, are you there? Are you there, Gustavo? Come in. Yeah. Well, here's what it is, folks. They have 2 things in common. Gus is right. It's got single mothers and Democrats. Everywhere you go, no matter what city you look at, that are run like crap, that are absolutely run like crap, Democrats, single mothers. The number 1 single destroyer of black families in America, the number 1 single destroyer of the black man in America is the Democratic Party. That's it. That's the truth. People don't like it. Oh, well, that's the truth. Statistically, real truth, raw truth, just by the numbers. That's what's killing the minority neighborhoods today in this country is identity politics and Democratic far left policies. That's what they do. Mandatory minimum sentences, the war on drugs, the list goes on and on and on. And I don't know where Gus is. Let me text Gus. Gus, you there? Let me call Gus. I think he's coming back in. Phone's ringing, folks. Yeah, we're doing this live. You gotta love this live shows. Things happen. Well, he's not picking up. That's weird. Very strange indeed. Very strange indeed. But I guess, we're at the end of the show, folks. Here's the deal. Unless we put aside all these BS issues and understand the greatest driving factor in all of us is economics, until we understand that everyone's economic vitality is dependent upon the other. And that's why I love free market capitalism. If I am going to survive, if I'm going to feed myself, I have to bring something of worth and value that you need for your life. That is the beauty of free market capitalism. And that's what makes it so worthwhile for everybody, irrespective of race, religion, or creed. It doesn't matter. And when we have identity politics, and I was, this morning I was talking about South Africa, right? If they had the potential, And I totally believe when you run the numbers and you follow the money, the biggest racial divisions that are happening in a place like that are being fed and fostered by globalist organizations that do not want to see the country united. They do not want to see that country rise, and they want to use that country as a poster child for the much more far-flung goal of destroying Western civilization to begin with. Yeah, it's weird. And Gus just texting me. But anyway, folks, these are the things that we need to put aside as people. These are the things that we need to move forward. And this new America, hopefully in the next coming months, with a lot of the revelations that are under the surface, so to speak, will help and to unite us and bring us forward and making this country great again. And with that being said, I'm over and out. Peace. Gus, you're back. Wait, look, Gus just popped up out of nowhere. Gus, you there?
Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, dude. I was about to end the show, man. You came right back on. Go ahead, bro. What were you saying? Democrats and single women,
right? Sorry, I did. I'm connected to that. I had to go. I told you my router, my Wi-Fi router has been all
fucked up.
You gotta love that California infrastructure, man.
Well, I'm not willing to give him like the half day of my life to wait around for the cable guy to show up whenever the fuck he feels like it. But it's so I have to connect directly to my my computer to my phone as a hotspot. Yeah, dude, single, absolutely. That's a very, like I said, that's a very uncomfortable subject matter.
No, but that's how they lose, man.
Well, it's you think somehow that you're throwing people under the bus, but if what's done is done. This is about the next generations doing the same shit.
Yep.
Like if you start telling these kids that being a single mother is glorious and no big deal and you don't need a man, and you start getting this into their head, and then they start thinking that way once fucking puberty hits, it's like, okay, so now we know what kind of kids in high school. I mean, for fuck's sake, like, wear a condom or wait till you get back. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not, stop popping out babies you have no intention on taking care of. It's if promoting nuclear family is now considered evil, then I'm fucking so be it. Like I will go. I will never be convinced otherwise. The children belong to family, not government. Period. They are. You get good or bad kudos and responsibilities. Your kids, you get all the kudos if they fucking dominate life. But if it goes bad, that's on you, motherfucker, not me. Like they're not my problem. They're your problem. Stop having them if you don't want to take care of them. It's not complicated. It just like me. If I pop out a bunch of kids, they're not your problem. They're my problem, good or bad. Their accountability all falls on me. So that used to be mainstream. Now I guess now it's fringe to love your family. I don't fucking know.
On top of the fact that I didn't build any businesses and neither did you, our kids belong to the government. We should, get rid of this old concept that children belong to their families.
Well, they've hated the nuclear family for a long time, but they've reached a point now where, dude, this fucking, because you've been bringing it up even longer than I have. Fuck nuclear, fuck family. They've been trying to crush that forever. They're promoting straight up like cuckery now.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like even it's when their mainstream publications are saying, like Huffington Post or the first one to really boost about it was, hey, let other people fuck your wife. It's good for you. It's like they're so fucking fucked up now, dude. I don't.
It's beyond me, man. It really is beyond
me. They straight out promote mainstream cuckery. Like, let other guys fuck your wife. It's good for you.
Yeah, and then it's good for you and so empowering for her.
Oh, so a real confident man lets other people rail his bitch. Is that really what you're selling? No.
Just to put it to the face of any guy that does anything to his woman. Period.
Dude, but that's the absurdity of what they're selling, which all ties into the emasculation of the country. Destroy the family, emasculate the country, hate daddy, hate, and they're everything. They're anti all things good. Like all things that make most of us wake up in the morning, our fucking parents, our children, our brothers, are all things that make me want to work my balls off and dominate. Like, they're anti those things. And you wonder why so many of them are losers. That's actually, maybe they have nothing to live for. Like, there's that's another argument made. Like, they've taken away all their purpose, like all the purpose of family or religion or a higher reason for working your balls off and being virtuous. They've tried to strip away all that, and maybe that's why these people are maniacs in the streets, because their purpose now is, being a Bolshevik, cultural Marxism, identity politics is their only purpose now.
Right. Like, identity politics destroys identity. And that's what they're trying to do with the West. And this is why it's dangerous, folks. When we as a culture, it doesn't matter. Look, you can be black, white, Asian, brown, red, yellow, blue, and green, purple polka dots. whatever that. See, that's the beauty of this, man, bro. I can't go to Turkey and become Turkish.
What? Yeah, well,
You know what? I'll never be a Turk, but I can be an American. Be an American.
Be an amazing father. Be an amazing brother. Be an amazing fucking friend. I mean, you need purpose besides being a fucking cuck who protest.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's like they want to destroy the identity, because when our identity as a culture is destroyed, then it's easier for them to take over. It's easier for them to import a culture that has a very strong identity, and then go ahead and emasculate us, and then rob us of our freedom, our quality of life, our way of life, the whole nine yards. You see this in Europe, man. You got these crazy migrant savages from from the freaking Middle East and whatnot, literally beating the crap and raping women in front of their men, and the men are just sitting there, just like pretending to look in the other direction.
Well, bro, that's why I think first what they try doing is they try redefining history. They try to so that every single country should be ashamed of its heritage and history. Yeah. They redefine history, and then they try burning it down. And that's where the whole statue shit comes in. Like, hey, we need to get rid of all these fucking. We need new statues of Lenin in Seattle. Like, so that you're right. They want to strip you. They want to strip you of all things West, of all things to be proud of all things that virtuous, of all things moral. And then they want to put this new reality of 18 dudes gangbanging your wife, and you thinking thinking it's trendy to like it. Drink a bunch of soy and then watch these dudes bang your.
Have a soy latte.
Dude, it's fucking. But to have this, am I nuts, or to have this conversation 20 years ago? We like, and that's the danger. Like, I think maybe the fringes of them is like 20% or 25% now. Like, if 20 years ago, some of their concepts now, like 99% of the population would think they're insane. So they are breeding these millennials and like these kids that are getting brainwashed. Their numbers are increasing. Like the whole cuck fucking thing. It's like, that shit didn't exist fucking 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I mean, but they're trying, dude. Wasn't Slate pushing for pedophilia? It's like it's just
a lot. My buddy sent a picture somewhere, put up on a tree somewhere in California. There was a poster. It was like a rainbow colored poster that says pedophiles are people too.
Yeah, they're trying to categorize pedophilia as a sexual preference,
and that's the ultimate game. This way, you destroy the innocence of a child. You destroy civilization. You see, we're so enraged as the libertarian, as the conservative libertarian section of this whole entire planet. We're enraged by what's going on, but we need to be pissed off to kick the crap out of this where it begins, so nobody tries to subvert our culture. Once we've lost the flame of sacred liberty, man, we've lost it all, bro.
Well, dude, that's what they shoot. When you're shooting all the way out to to try to normalize molesting children, we have a serious fucking problem.
Yep.
Like that, because for me, the only way to deal with pedophilia is firing squad. And that's
absolutely, you cannot fix them, you cannot rehab them, kill them.
And actually, the government getting a hold of you is the best thing that could happen to you before I do. Like, so, yeah, if one of my nephews has that happen, we have a serious fucking problem. And yeah, the cops getting you is probably the safest path for you.
Same here.
It's not even a question. And the fact that they would normalize this is incredible. Yep. Like it's just confused. No, you let us give me your 14-year-old sons. I swear, it's just what? Yeah. That's where they're going, dude.
Oh yeah,
that's where they're going. That's their real utopia. Mm-hmm. Incredible. I can't believe Republicans don't hold every single fucking House and Senate seat, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you still got the brain dead idiots in New York and in California that keeps the left in power, and in Illinois, like in Chicago and stuff.
They are such parasitic vermin, dude.
They are.
And weak. Oh, gross.
Pathetic. There's a hatred for life, man. There really is.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
I hate, dude. I'm telling you, a hatred for all things good.
Yeah, they're not even real liberals. That's the problem.
No, they're like I said, they're Bolshevik cunts. It's terrible.
Agreed. Gustavo, thank you for coming on. And again, plug us your website and how people get a hold of you, man.
Perpetual Assets, perpetualassets.com. All things retirement accounts, crypto, metal. Drop us a call. We do research on our site all you want, interviews, articles, whatever. Again, we focus on retirement accounts that the client totally controls.
There you go. And folks, comment, like, and share. Tell all your friends about us. And with that being said, we're over and out. And I'm going to take it away because CJ's out having fun.